That's lovely.
I love it. That's good. Sounds good. How do we sound is more important.
Yay.
Well, Jared will let us know. Our trusted Jared. It's great. Hey, we're going to let it roll for a minute here and let our viewers kind of, pile up a little bit, so to speak, before we get to the fun stuff, which is Becky and I going barefoot and talking all things feet and foot related. Oh, good. I'm getting thumbs up. That's great. So I know you're anticipating our bare feet, and they're coming, so sit tight. But before we do that, we wanted to show you our break room / meeting room and play some darts. Becky's a bit of a dart, what is that called when a shark? When you like show up at a place and kind of act like you're not that good, and then all of a sudden you're killing everybody.
Well, I haven't played much since college, so
right. So we'll see what we each got.
I don't know how much of skills I retained, but
let's see what we can do. But so Steve, did you want to? What is this a good angle for darts?
I can see the darts. Yeah, let's see
what's
going on here.
So there's our trusted dartboard, and any of the holes that you see not on the board itself are because we have children, and when kids come to work, you get a lot of this. And not a lot of board action. You know what I mean? Can I even get that?
Now the pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
to get it on the board.
I was purposely trying to hit all around it, so I think I did pretty good there.
All right, let's see.
Talk a little. Yeah. I know I'm screaming. I get excited.
I did actually get a bullseye earlier.
You did get a bullseye. You nailed it.
Ooh.
Anything worth counting on?
Yes.
No, you have to get.
No.
You have to get a bull or a 15 to 20.
I mean, I was just trying to get it on the board right now.
I guess you're right. Shoot! Look at that. I'm going for 20s.
No.
I didn't get it.
No 20s.
All right. That was my warm up. Come on, Beck.
Ah.
Come on, Beck. Ooh! You got 18.
18.
Yep.
Those of you just tuning in.
So I get a little X
you get it.
Circle.
Yep. And other side.
Circle?
You see your name up top? No, you get a line.
A line.
One. Yep.
Okay. I told you it's been a while.
It's been a while, right? Darts at the compound. Oh, darn it. Shoot, did I get anything?
No.
So
darn it.
Whoever loses has to lotion up the other person's feet. Is that how we're doing
Oh, is that how
no.
I don't think Becky's interested in that. You got a double 18. You just closed 18s.
Oh.
Good for you. That trusted 4.
That's a double 18?
You did. You circle that bad boy.
Circle it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We had one.
All right.
Cool.
Hey, good. I got 2 20s.
There's a 20.
All right. I'm not as much of a loser as I thought.
That's good to know.
All right. Oh, I was trying to get you on the way back, I think.
Come on, back.
Can't get the dang 20. Yeah, that was all over the place.
Let us know if you watching are interested in darts at all. It is a fun thing to do. I mean, gosh, everybody did this a little bit in college at some point, whether you remember it or not. Those drunken moments of darts.
Oh, so close.
Shoot. I'm just trying to go in that region. Oh, I did get an 18, though.
Yeah, there you go.
People are here for the feet. They're not here for the
I know, they're here for the feet. The feet are coming. The feet are coming. You got 18s, but you don't need them. You got 20.
I know.
You got it.
Do you think your accuracy would improve with?
Maybe I should just go barefoot now. Just kind of get them used to the feel, Stretch them out a little bit. Let those dogs relax a little. Here you go, Beck. Yeah, get in there.
In the barefoot fun here.
Do some ankle rolls, Air the socks out a little bit. What? It's not that bad. You know his awful feet? I have a 10-year-old son. He takes it. He doesn't even have to tell me he's taking his shoes off. He'll take his shoes off in the car. I'll just be driving, and it's like I'm getting jabbed by the stink. I'm like, buddy, put those things back. I didn't give you permission to take those shoes off. Put those shoes back. Yeah. In the confined space of a car, you know, it's awful.
Yeah. You have to roll the windows down.
You do. Ooh, 18. I closed 18s.
There you go.
All right. I think that's it, right? Yep. All right, Beck.
I hit the 20, but
the actual 20.
Does
that count if you hit the actual
20? Right, it should. Oh, that's
in the official
who?
rule.
It should count. I feel like it.
This is fun. I haven't played darts in too long. 17.
Right? I couldn't tell you the last time I played.
Why don't you remind the viewers why we're here today?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let them know.
Well, they can't hear me, so.
Oh,
that's right.
We're going to be talking about feet here in a minute. So we're just
Foot care.
Foot care. How to take care of your feet so you don't have as much foot pain, which also translates into less pain in your whole body, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You
Just
know.
to move more too.
Yeah.
Especially with people who are, you know, the aging population. You know, things start to slide a little bit, and foot care, just general foot health, that could be hygiene or, you know, cutting your nails, like, you know, doing stuff with your feet. You lose mobility, they get weak, they start to be painful, and you start to just ignore them. It's the part of the body that touches the ground, that you know, that moves our whole body. It's pretty darn important. And I think a lot of people don't pay much attention to their feet. So I want to just sit and chit chat with Becky about the importance of foot care. And we have a whole bunch of little massage tools and some fun little tests we're going to go with. Well, we got some darts to play, so let's keep playing. Is it your turn?
It is my turn. Oh.
Come on.
I have a hard
You already
time.
closed 18. Stop going for 18.
Oh.
Right there.
So close, but not there.
So close. Yeah, there you go. Get the.
Oh,
We're
hello.
gonna
Get that.
put the audience in harm's way here. Oh.
Hey, I got 19.
Whoa.
Oh!
So close.
20. Closed out 20s.
Nice.
And got a 19. All right. All right, Bex, come on.
I'm going to go for 19 just to change it up.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go for a different part of the board. See? You just got one.
Oh!
Adding to the holes in the wall.
Oopsies.
Fresh coat of paint will hide all that. It's all right. It's good. It's good. What do I need? I need 19s and 17s. Not 11. Oh, I got a bull.
Look at you go.
And a 17. Yeah, show them proof. They're not going to buy it. I'm not seeing it.
They won't believe
That
you.
and a 1 bull. All right, all right.
I feel like I'm lagging behind here.
Come
a
on,
little
Beck.
bit.
One good turn changes everything. Come on.
Oh.
There it is. Triple.
Yeah.
You just closed it out. See?
Look at that.
All right, who's winning here?
Boom chakalaka.
It's pretty darn close because we each have closed 2 out.
Yep.
So I'm maybe got a couple throws ahead on her, but that can change. All right, what am I going to go for? 17 or 19. All right. Ooh, I got it.
Look at you.
Oh! Did
And
I just
19?
I just got 2 triples, dude.
Close them both out at the same time.
Yep.
All right,
Oh, I got some
content
catching
now.
up to do.
Let's say maybe.
Oh,
Becky
come
won.
on. This dart, like I'm getting it. All right, fine. Should we finish now? All right.
All or nothing.
Do you want
round.
one more turn, Becky? Or
Sure. Whatever.
we'll give Becky one more go after this, okay? Then we'll start talking about feet. All you people out there wanting feet. I get it. I want to talk about feet. All right, what do I need? I need 16, 15, or bulls. Okay.
Oh.
No. I was hoping to get a bowl. All right, I got nothing. What do you got, Beck?
All right, this is it. Final.
Yeah, try to bring it closer. Oh, you did.
Got a 15.
Yep.
Oh, 17.
And a 17.
Double
Look at you.
15.
So we're pretty much tied.
Yep.
Because you got a double here. Okay?
All right, foot time.
So we're going to end it as a tie for now. Now, I don't need my sneakers. Come on down the hallway. Don't trip, dude. I'll feel awful.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, here we are. Yeah, good. Can you see us? You feeling it?
See you, Greg.
Yeah, see us? Can you hear us?
All right, so here we sit. Oh, and we'll have to, what we'll do is maybe we can go get a, I'll have to go and we'll do that thing. Get a piece of paper.
Need your shoe and you need a piece of paper and
Okay,
pencil.
well, we'll do it.
Okay.
I can always just jump up and go grab it. So, foot health. All right, well, one thing, down here in Florida, where we are, we're in the Tampa area, there's a lot more opportunity to be barefoot.
Yeah, 'cause it's warm.
It's
All
warm
the time.
year round, whether you're at the beach. Hey,
And his shoe and a paper.
shoe,
and his
my
pen.
shoe and a marker. Thank you. So what that means is actually, I would say we have a little bit of an advantage over people in other parts of the country who are maybe in colder climates for several months out of the year, where being barefoot really isn't fun or an option at all. Even in your own house, your feet get cold, so they're always covered up. Down here, you go for walks at the beach, you go for, if you have nice grass on your yard, you can just be barefoot out back, which I find myself doing that quite often. But my feet are really sensitive. I have really sensitive feet. I walk like if I'm at the beach, I'm like,
really?
and unless I'm on the sand, but if there's shells and stuff, I'm a bit of a wimp.
Yeah, thank you.
But our feet are filled with nerve endings, and there's more nerves in the bottoms of our feet than anywhere else in our body in terms of the dense amount of nerve ending. And it makes sense too, right? Doesn't it? Since that's what
Well, yeah, because we didn't used to have shoes back in the day, and you needed to be able to feel the ground.
That's right. You need to be able to feel the surface that you're on, and it really does play into our ability to move well, to feel balanced, proprioception, the sense of our bodies in space, spatial awareness. And as I said earlier, when we get older, life can just be more challenging from a physical point of view, physical perspective, in our later 50s, 60s, and beyond. And all of us, if you're a younger person watching, you certainly have somebody in your life, like a parent, a loved one, a grandparent, somebody that is older that would absolutely benefit from what we're talking about today. Or, maybe there's something that you could do for this person. I mean, just something, and I know this, I'm a dude, right? So for a guy to say the word pedicure, I immediately sound like, oh, really? One of those guys. Listen, I've had pedicures before, and they feel really good. It feels really good to have somebody who kind of knows what they're doing take care of your foot. And really, that comes down to, it's not just clipping your toenails. I got that part covered, okay? I understand how to do that part. Painting them. They do, well, they can put like a clear, like for dudes, they can put like a kind of a clear nail protectant type thing on there, which isn't all that bad.
Get rid of some of that dead skin.
But they do. They scrape off the dead skin. They will rub or massage your feet depending on where you go. And I've had even where basically they take care of your whole lower leg. They will kind of rub your lower calf and upper calf and the front of your leg, your shin, where a lot of us are tight and in pain, especially if we're active when we're younger. And then again, when we get older, we let things go. Mm-hmm. And we move a little bit less, and we keep our feet covered up, and we wear big, bulky, heavy, clunky sneakers, right? Yeah. And our feet suffer for that. So what I wanted to talk about today was just a lot of different simple things that you can do at home while you're sitting. So it's like the easiest thing in the world to do to take care of your own feet. I even remember back when my wife and I were earlier in our relationship, back when you're a little bit more touchy-feely, but we would like rub each other's feet. And that was just something that, like, if it felt good, it's relaxing. And, you know, and I don't know, so if you're somebody that's not weirded out by feet, then maybe consider, you know, getting a foot rub from your loved one, from your spouse or your partner.
You can use this video as an excuse to say, hey,
that's right.
honey, you need to rub my feet tonight.
But it's not an oddball thing, and I'll tell you why. Because my son even requests it, and he's a 10-year-old kid. He's growing. His foot is already the size of his mom's foot, you know. And but he all the time asks for, like, hey, can you rub my shoulder? Can you tickle my back? Whatever. Can you rub my feet? Because feet hurt.
Yeah.
You know, feet hurt, and it feels good to have someone else who knows what they're doing kind of get in there and rub and massage them, you know. So speaking of massage, like, there's simple things that you can do that, let's actually just start with the tennis ball, because everybody has a tennis ball. It's not ideal, but it's reasonable and accessible. And so what I've done many times over the years is I typically have a tennis ball under my desk, just sitting there, and I can pop my shoe off real quick and then just start, like, rolling my foot. Now, there's no real science, I say, behind this. The whole idea is that you rub your foot in different ways. You rub the length of the foot from the heel up to the ball of the foot. You can do side-to-side motions. You could just do pressure point, where you just push into sensitive areas and hold it for time. You can do circular motions, either direction. Really, it just comes down to improving circulation and blood flow, breaking up knots and things. I mean, your feet have muscles in them just like any other part of the body, right?
Yeah.
George uses a softball.
A softball is actually really good, yes, because it's a little bit bigger, so the surface area might feel better, and it's harder, which harder is actually better, right? Now, the tennis ball has quite a lot of give to it, and because it's got a felt, you know, outer layer on it, it slides. I can't tell you how many times I'll be doing this, and then shoot, it like shoots right out. Room. So actually what Becky brought with her today, which we had some laughs earlier because Becky handed me, I'm like, why are you handing me your sack of balls?
Some balls.
and you know, so we kind of had a few laughs about that. But so this is much more like a lacrosse ball.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lacrosse ball, but it's actually a little bit softer. And I like this because it does have a little give, and you want a little give. It helps with the skin, as well as it is good to have something hard, but for sometimes too much is too much too, right? So what I like about this is just it's like hard, but it's soft enough too that it's not going to damage any of the tissues and stuff. So I mean, basically you can do the same thing like what he did with the tennis ball, you know. But I like it. Here, I'll give you one. Try it. You haven't tried this before, so try this and feel it. You know, it does have.
This feels like one of the hard rubber bouncy balls you get for your kid at the store.
Oh yeah, there you go. You could probably use one of those.
You could probably use one.
But you don't have to worry about it popping. You don't have to. It has grip. It's not going to go flying anywhere. You know, and so that can be really good because you can use these all over your whole body, not just your feet too.
Yep.
But yeah, but like he said, up and down, side to side. I mean, even getting like your toes, stretching your toes out over the top so our toes get all kind of bound and wound in. So even just stretching your toes over the top, getting your heel in there, all that stuff. Because you'll feel, I mean, it gets so super tight in there. You'll feel the tight muscles in the areas that you need it. Just like if you're rubbing your shoulders and you're like, oh yeah, that, you know, that knot right there. You'll feel it in your foot.
I just thought of something. I'll be right back, seriously.
Yeah, and you'll rarely get where, you know, you're in a shoe all day. So your foot never is bending. It's never moving. It's just kind of like straight and flat, and that's it. So what this does is it allows your foot to bend and move, just like if you were to move your arms around or, you know, kind of move your head around.
How much pressure do you apply, they're asking?
Yeah, how much pressure? So, I mean, you want to feel it, but it shouldn't hurt, right? Like, you don't want to push so hard. It's not always about more pressure, hard. Like, some people think they should do this stuff and they should be crying in pain.
Yes, no.
That's too much, right? But you don't want it so light that you're kind of like can't really feel anything. So it kind of depends on each person, but you want to feel it just like you would if you were, getting a massage on your arm or your neck or something. You want to feel it, but you don't want it to hurt, and you don't want to just be like, I don't even know what's going on down there because there's barely any pressure to feel it. So it's kind of subjective for each person. Everybody's different what that's going to be. So I can't be like, oh, push into it this much, but just play with it. Play with it. You'll know too, because once you get done, after I do this actually did this yesterday for, I don't know, just a couple minutes on each side, and my foot just felt like lighter and just, I don't know really how to describe it. I could feel the difference after I did it. So yeah, and you don't have to spend a ton of time doing it, but like you said, I'm just like working, multitask. You don't always have to take time out of your day to do this stuff. Do it while you're doing something else. Do it while you're watching TV. Do it while you're at your desk, whatever might work for you in your day to just squeeze it in.
Yep, 100%. That's oftentimes when I do it, is if I'm working at my desk or I'm just at home relaxing, watching a show or a movie. I'll grab, and what I went to grab was a frozen water bottle. So we all have things at home that we can use without even having to run out and buy anything. Again, a hard kids like rubber ball. These are actually therapy balls, but that's very similar to what a kid's hard bouncy ball feels like. Like I said, a brand new tennis ball, because those are more firm. As the tennis ball gets used, they get more squishy and lose their oomph.
Yeah.
So a newer tennis ball would be a decent option. But I love, because here now you're getting the frozen water bottle. This can be too intense for some people to go right to the barefoot. And they go, ooh, it's too cold. I'm just used to it because I've been doing it for so long. I've been fighting 2 foot issues, and I'm sure there's people watching that have dealt with plantar fasciitis at some point in their life. It's totally debilitating, very painful, very tight. When you first get up in the morning, it can be hard to even walk and move around until you start to kind of get the blood flowing and your body moving, and it will feel better. But then again, by the end of the day, it can be very painful, and it can take what feels like months for it to improve. And oftentimes it's because we have fallen arches and our foot changes as we get older. Our feet aren't just the same forever. Our feet, the shape of our foot changes, the way our foot lands and meets the ground changes. And when that tissue gets inflamed, I actually have bone spurs on my heel. I think on both heels, but absolutely on my left, and I've seen it. And the doctor actually said a little over a year ago, he said, it's not your bone. I could take that bone spur off, you'd still have foot pain. He said it's the tissue. It's the anchor point of the fascia underneath where it attaches at your heel, and this is oftentimes the issue. The pain isn't up by the toes, it's usually by the heel where it's very sensitive, and that's where mine was, because my foot needed more support. And so I started wearing an insert in all of my footwear, and that drastically improved how my feet felt, my plantar fasciitis. So I encourage anybody watching, go to a foot specialist, go to a foot doctor, maybe get some x-rays done. If your feet are really bothering you, at least figure out why, what this issue is, and see if it can be resolved with some type of heavy-duty insert that can be very helpful. The other thing I'll say is I've been more recently dealing with something that's nerve-related on my right foot, which is called Morton's neuroma. And this is, my wife picked on me because she's like, oh, you're just self-diagnosing yourself with all these foot issues. And I said, well, honey, these are the symptoms I'm having, and they exactly match up with the 7 symptoms of this thing, this common foot issue. It usually happens between the 3rd and 4th or 2nd and 3rd toe. If you can kind of tell, do you see how there's a bit of a space between my 2nd toe and my 3rd toe? A little bit, kind of even when I stand. There's a little bit of extra space here. Actually, what I have is I have inflammation in the nerves right down here. And it gets puffy, and it spreads my toes apart, and I get tingling and burning in my toes and on the ball of my feet. This kind of part of your foot there. It's very sensitive, and I think it's because I'm probably not wearing the right footwear, and I'm doing a lot of coaching and cleats and sneakers and stuff. My feet are in sneakers a lot, and I think it's probably constricting. So I'm anxious to do the thing
Yeah,
that
we're
you
gonna do a
were.
little
We're going to do a
test.
little test here just to see if maybe my foot is bigger than the footwear I'm wearing.
Which it usually is for
Yeah,
most people.
it is for most people, and that's why
Yeah.
people go to a wider shoe, right? They go to like a New Balance or something that's wider. And I would encourage anybody watching too, like investing more. I've sought out now. There's some higher end sneakers and things out there and footwear. I'm going to start investing, I think, in that because the $70 sneaker that you get at the store, I don't think is cutting it for me anymore. I think I need to go to something that's more appropriate for my foot, like specifications. So what worked 10 years ago might not work anymore, you know?
Right.
So I do have a few other things here. Here, Becky, I want to see your reaction to the spike ball. The spike ball now is part of our Neuro-Balance Therapy program. It's the first thing that you do. Neuro-Balance Therapy is a fall prevention program that I created that is helping older men and women, mostly. I say older men and women mostly because that's the population that experiences more falls, and it's more dangerous because as we get older, we're not as good at preventing falls. When we slip, we fall, we go down, and we can get severely hurt. Whereas like I can fall and like bounce right back up, maybe not like I did when I was 20, but when you're older, it can be very dangerous, especially if you live alone or if you just live with your spouse and there's not someone else there to help, and it can be very scary. So the spike ball is the first of several different gentle movements that people can do with Neuro-Balance Therapy that helps them to regain more of that mind balance connection or mind-foot connection. And I think that's a huge part of, neuropathy and other nerve-related conditions. As we get older, we start to we lose sensation and feeling, and we're not driving as much movement and stimulus to the parts of our body, right? We're not up and walking around as much. So what happens is that superhighway of stimulus dies down, and things break down.
Yeah.
In other words, things break down, and the messaging isn't quite what it used to be. And so you have things like foot drop and pain and bunions and all the fun stuff that that can happen, and that just makes life a little bit more of a pain, and walking becomes not fun.
Right.
And we become less mobile, and then life can get dangerous, and then you lose your independence, and that's not fun. So fall prevention is a huge deal, especially as our population continues to age and more people are over 50 or 60 than ever before. And so other things that you can do besides the spike ball from the program, there's things like massage sticks. So if you don't have somebody that can massage you, you can have a massage stick and do self-massage with this massage sticks are nice because it's just a stick with handles that has these hard moving pieces of plastic that can easily roll underneath your foot. So you can hold your foot in different positions and just go. I mean, the massage stick's great because you can roll anything. You can roll your shins, you can roll your calves, anywhere in the lower body, and you get that nice pressure with movement. You can even do what they call flossing, which would hurt you might want to have a layer of material on, but like you can, if you did it on yours, like you can kind of go side, really pick your spot and just really like focus on that one area, or if it's in your feet.
Do foam rollers work?
Foam rollers work, but I really only recommend the high density foam rollers, and those are good for just larger muscle areas. What are your feelings on foam rollers? Because there's a lot of good and bad with those.
Yeah, I mean, I like foam rollers, but again, it's surface area, right? Like it's going to be too big to roll your foot, so it's not really going to do anything. So because we're now dealing with a smaller muscle, that you're going to want a smaller tool to use. So that's where like the little balls come in handy. Whereas, your calves, your quads, those are bigger muscles. So yeah, you could easily roll with with the foam roller there. And the way I like to think about it is, if you're going to roll with a foam roller, now you're not going to really be able to get your foot, but you could do your calf, right? It's kind of like this, right? This is what you're doing. Now, if you are using a ball, say on your calf, right? Like you could sit on the floor and roll there. Now it's like doing the knuckle. So it also kind of depends what you're trying to go for. For some people, and that's never rolled, that's never had a massage, yeah, you don't want to go the knuckle super intense. So maybe starting with like a massage stick or a foam roller can be a good starting point, right, for calves or quads or something like that. But if you really want to get into your foot, the bottom of your foot, you're going to have to use a smaller tool, because it's just little small muscles. You could roll on a foam roller, but I don't see it doing a whole lot for you there. So it just really depends on the muscle that you're working, right? The muscle that you're trying to stretch, the muscle that you're trying to work on. So that's why sometimes having, a couple things can be helpful, because it's going to depend, on what you're working. Because same thing with these. I love to get this up in my, up here in my shoulder and stuff, but I'll also use a foam roll just to kind of do my whole back, just to kind of get the, the broad, because it depends on how much time I have too. It takes a lot more work to kind of get into with this on bigger muscles. So it kind of depends on what you're focusing on, really is the big thing. So if you're focusing mainly on your feet, something small. If you're starting to move into some bigger muscles, cool, you could do the foam roller. And you know what? Start with what you have. But if you're doing this consistently, you're probably going to want something a little more targeted over time for sure.
Ultimately, it's just self-care and really evaluating. We're so good at taking care of other things in life, taking care of other people, taking care of our car, bringing our car in for maintenance, right? Take care of our house and fixing and keeping everything else maintained. But oftentimes we really, especially men, do such a lousy job of like evaluating and assessing our condition and different parts of our body, and are things in good working order? How do they feel? I'm tough, I can deal with the pain. But eventually
it gets to be too much.
That pain becomes too much, or it's also gone too far where now you've really kind of painted yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
Should they do this before or after workouts?
Either is fine.
Can you
so
repeat the questions? They can't hear me.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, maybe they can with those amazing pipes that you have. Should you do this before or after working out? Stuff like this can really be done prior to or following a workout. This is more self-massage, and when you're massaging and things like that, that's kind of any time. I don't really, it's kind of like, it's not really stretching. This kind of its own animal. So I would say whenever the time feels appropriate for you, before or after would be absolutely fine. Before sometimes might be better, just because you just feel better in your going into your workout, that you just stimulated your foot or your lower leg, and it's maybe more ready for work. So
it just depends, right? Yeah, if you tend to have a lot of pain while you're working out in your foot, right, and doing a little bit of rolling before you start your workout helps you to feel better, then yeah, definitely like throw it in there. But if you're just kind of doing it for maintenance, for self-care at the end of a long day, like whatever, it'll still help even if you're doing your workout later, right? Because the more we keep it flexible, the more we work on that stuff, it will feel better any time of day, right? So I think with most of this stuff, the key is find a routine, find something that works for you, because if we're like, now all of a sudden we're spending 3 hours at the gym because we're like, I have to do all these things, you're never going to make that happen. But if it's easy to do this while you're watching TV at night and you're, you can kind of multitask, then that's the key. So it's really about just kind of what works the best for you. So, there's certain things I'll do before a workout just because my hips are always really tight and my back gets really tight. So I have to do a little extra stretching and stuff through there, because I know for me personally, if I don't, my workout's going to suffer a little bit more. So same thing. So it really just depends on what your challenges are and what you need to do for you. It's going to be different for every person.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm kind of just enjoying doing this because I'm going to probably do it after we're done with the video. With the frozen bottle, you can use it different ways. You can go with the length of your foot. You can do obviously perpendicular to the foot, rolling, hovering in one area. But I just know the benefits of this, just to help reduce inflammation, the massage factor built into it, and just stimulating that area and trying to bring some blood flow and
Yeah.
into an area that's ailing or painful. So we're going to do a little thing that Becky recommended.
Yep.
So first, you want me to what? Draw.
Trace your shoe on the paper. I'm gonna get maybe a different. I see a different color marker, so we might use
Yes.
two
Jeez,
markers.
I'm running out of.
So you can see.
Do I need a larger piece of paper?
Well, you know what? Just worry about the top part.
Okay, just do the top.
This is going to be
Yeah.
the part that's going to be
Okay.
more of an issue for most people.
You want to do a red?
Well, I just want to do your shoe one color.
Okay, and then the foot another.
We can always even just do a skinnier marker.
And I'm just trying to stay right and tight to the.
Right tight, yeah, tight to the shoe.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Marker. It's a whiteboard marker. That'll work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So now you're gonna put your foot kind of like the same. So like, you know what I mean? So like you would put your foot in here, kind of
Right.
like how you would wear your
I mean,
shoe.
it looks massive, but of course that's the.
Now your shoe might be actually so.
But look how tight it is at the. Well, of course it kind of
Would your
opens
foot
up.
be up more though normally? Do you think? Or do you think that's where your foot would be? Yeah. Well, you can see. Okay, so you're good. So even just here, I'm gonna highlight your foot real quick. Sorry if I
No, I'm not
get
worried.
you colored.
To his toenails.
Paint those toenails back.
So the reason, so this is gonna be different depending on your shoe, right? Whatever
Right.
shoe you're wearing. But here's what we can see. We can see.
It is probably squeezing it.
So here's what's interesting is if you can see this, the black is the shoe, and the red is his foot. So what you can see is his foot is going outside of his shoe, which means right here, is that where your foot hurts up here though?
Yeah, but it could
But either
be,
way, it doesn't matter where because he's
it's
getting
right about
squeezed.
here.
Yeah, you're getting squeezed right through there. Which think about. Like if I was just to take your hand and just do this all day, how do you think your hand is gonna look at his fingers when
Yeah.
I do that? They're like
They're spreading out.
right? They're getting all weird
That's what
looking.
that's what my damn toe's doing between my third and fourth toe. Because
Yeah, so you're getting
the nerves are pissed off right here. I'm telling you.
Yeah, probably because of this. So you're getting squeezed through there,
Right.
which is coming up into his toes. It goes to the bottom of your feet. You feel it. Like everybody's going to feel it probably different areas, right? Because it also depends. For some people, what I've seen is kind of this part. For a lot of people, this part goes out really wide, and then it's getting squished, in through the top of your toes.
Especially women, right? Because it always seems like they're wearing
Yeah,
something
'cause they're
small,
super narrow.
like some type of narrow shoe.
Yeah, I knew my shoes tend to be wider, so they were going to be probably the best to use for this. But yeah, so especially women, you're going to see a lot of times their foot goes way out here. So then you think like bunions and stuff, it's really just a matter of over 20, 30, 40 years, just constant pressure on your feet day in and day out, wearing these tight little shoes, these tight little heels, things that squish the arch, that squish the toes, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you start to see people where, their big toes like way over,
it gets
way
pushed
over, or
over,
their
yeah.
toes start overlapping and stuff. And we think it's just because you get old, but the reality is it's not just, like it doesn't just happen because you get old. Your feet don't just start, your toes don't start doing weird stuff
Completely
because
shifting,
you're
right.
50. It's like years. If you've worn shoes almost all day, every day for 50 years that are too tight, that are too small, then yeah, that's just it's no different than if I took your hand like this all day. Do you think your hand your hand's going to end up over time looking like this? I don't know. Friends, did you ever watch Friends?
Oh yeah.
There was an episode where I think it was like they were playing one of the, like a Pac-Man or something, and his hand wouldn't even.
Because he played Pac-Man
Because he played
so much.
Pac-Man so much, right? So you think about, it's kind of like that idea of like, it's gonna morph over time. So it's something that seems like it all of a sudden happened one day, but the reality is it happened over years and years and years and years. So unfortunately, shoes aren't made the best. But nowadays you're starting to see a lot of these shoes where they are wider, where they have like barefoot kind of shoes where you can feel the ground through the shoes, where your feet don't feel scrunched in the shoes and things like that.
Or you have good firm support versus squishy. Because from the talking I've done with podiatrists and with people who know feet at some of these like Happy Feet foot centers where they sell better quality footwear, is that the squishy, mushy comfort walking in a cloud shoe, that's what's really causing a lot of issues with people. Kind of like a real squishy, mushy, soft bed. It's not super supportive. So at first it might feel good, but then all of a sudden you're getting back pain or you're not feeling quite right. It's because you do need a certain amount of firm support in your footwear, in your bed, in
Right, because even if you go barefoot, they're even on the ground, there's still, even in grass, there's support there. Even when you're on the beach, there's support
That's
there.
right. That's
you know
one
what
of
I
the
mean? It's
best
not
things,
just like
yeah.
your foot just like, it's not like walking in mud.
Yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? So.
I think walking on the beach, and obviously I'm only going to speak to a very small percentage of people, when given the opportunity, take advantage of it because your foot conforms to the sand underneath you. It's got a certain amount of support, but it also gives a little bit. And it feels good, and it's.
Yeah.
I always feel better like physically when I leave the beach, like my feet, my body, being in the ocean, all that stuff. But even just walking on grass, barefoot, walking home inside your home on in bare feet, on your carpeting. Try to, the message here in a nutshell is try to do more things barefoot, even if it's for just minutes or moments a day. And that could be a combination of self-massage. It could be just trying to do some dexterity, moving your toes. And, when we get older, we get bad at moving our feet and our toes. They're not used to, how often do you just sit there and try to move your toes? My toes do two things. They go up or they go down. I can't do anything else with my toes.
Yeah.
I have no dexterity in my toes.
And your toes can actually move like your hands.
I know.
Although we never train them to do that, so they never do. Yeah.
That's right. And I've lost tons of mobility and bending my toes and stuff, so I try to do things, and I do yoga to help try and promote the barefoot experience. So hopefully you do. Check out the comment down below for Neuro-Balance Therapy if you or someone you know could benefit from having a stronger brain balance connection, working on promoting healthy feet, and to help prevent falls. Highly recommend it. And this is fun. Jared, anything? Good?
I got Dr. Scholl's.
Oh, Dr. Scholl's.
And that's what gave me my knee pain.
Yeah, and that just shows you, like the Dr. Scholl's over-the-counter, super cheap inserts, I don't really recommend those.
Messed me up.
Yeah, it messed his knee up. He's pretty convinced of that. So I wouldn't say if it's squishy, mushy, and just feels good for a little while, it's not going to really service you or help you. The inserts for my sneakers, and I should have showed you this earlier, last takeaway, this is not soft and squishy at all. Go ahead and just... Oh, stop. This is very firm. I cannot, see the arch support? I cannot even push that down with, it stays as it is. This is a very hard surface with just that's a dog hair, with just a very, very thin material over the top. But as you can see, my foot's really conformed to this, and I get a great deal of arch support here. And I just take this insert and put it into any of my sneakers that I'm wearing, and this is what helped my plantar fasciitis. But then I ended up with a new problem, which I think is constriction of too tight of a sneaker. So anyway, a little bit of foot health here today, something totally different that we haven't talked about on any of our lives or in much of our content at all. So thank you, Becky.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Love these leggings. Are these new?
No, these are actually I've had for a really long time.
Have you really?
I just don't know if I've worn them here before.
Yeah, super. I mean, I might have to run out and get
They're very
myself a
like
pair.
Florida with the palm trees.
Very Florida. I love it. Thanks for checking in. As always, great to see you. Hope you got something out of this. Share this with a friend or family member who could benefit from what we've talked about today. Take care of yourself. See you soon.